Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in, right? And yes, Z, I said yes, Z. Yes, Vince. She did say a man is gonna have to learn me. Where's that comment? I've clicked the damn wrong comment. There we go. A man have to learn how to keep me. Yes, she did say that, right? And I'm not late. I'm not late. I'm not late. Right. But yeah, so she did say that. Yes, she did. Um, and that's in the second link for all of you that are wondering what Vince is referring to, right? So did Mr. Z call it or did Mr. Z call it? So before we get into the main topic, I just want to touch on a few points. First, shout out to Jason Black, right? So the brother kind of broke down. Was it last night or the night before? I want to say last night. He broke down Kamala and Trump, and great conversation. Um, so a bit of Z does it is one of those situations where obviously Mr. Black has a far larger platform than Z. So there is something to be said about saying something maybe once, twice, three, four, five times, but you having the smaller platform, and then somebody else saying something, albeit maybe in a bit more detail, and them having a way larger platform. And so now when you say it, you look like you're copying from them. And I'm not saying that Mr. Black, Jason Black, is copying from me. What I am saying though is that we've come to similar conclusions. I just said it first. That is what I am saying. Um, and does it matter in the grand scheme of things? No. Why it does matter though is when we're doing the social, and he did say, like, I'm talking about socio-political, I'm talking, and when he said that, I was like, you mean what Z says all the time, but okay. um but why it does matter, or what does matter about this, is that we're coming to the same conclusion because we're doing the social math, right? And as I said before, and you know, you're hearing more and more pundits, um not so much the black ones, funny enough. You're hearing pundits say, oh crap, we're going to need the black male vote. God damn it. Right? We're going to need the black men. God damn it. Right? Now, did or did not Z say it will be black men who drag this country kicking and screaming into what it said it is on paper? Huh? So when I'm glad that Jason Black went into detail on the way he did. I want to stress this, and I think I'm going to start stressing this more and more on my channel. I'm going to start saying this more and more on my channel. I'm not just talking to be talking, right? Talk about birthday resolutions. Mr. Z is not just talking to be talking. Yes, I am a community college dropout, faceless nobody on the internet. That's true. But I'm not just talking to be talking. Everything from what I'm saying politically, socially, black men and black women relationships, right? Family formation, the US economy. Mr. Z is not just talking to be talking. And to be frank with you, you don't have to do much research. You don't have to do, it's not as tedious as it maybe once was some few decades ago. You don't, it's the finding out what you need to find out to understand the direction that America is going in, or the black community is going in. It doesn't take that much, right? So shout out to Jason Black for presenting to us what he did. Um, yes, right. So there's that. Shout out to BGS for breaking down what's going on in Ohio right now. The Willie Horton ad style. Yeah, and once he said Willie Horton, I knew exactly what he was referring to. Most of us probably did. And yes, I would say that also. I would agree with BGS that what JD Vance, and if y'all click the link in my post right now, my community chat, you will see I posted something from Abba and Preach where JD Vance admitted, yeah, we straight up lied about it, but it was to bring attention to Ohio, which is exactly what BGS was saying the other day, and which Mr. Z figured because obviously. So yeah. So y'all click that link after the stream and y'all check that out. And yeah, and it was JD Vance. I want to say on CNN, just straight up admitting, I kind of made that up, right? Or maybe not even made that up. I might have did too much with that, but to get to the point, right? So, and by the way, BGS kind of presented this the other day also on his channel, so that's not that surprising to us. Okay. Yes, Mr. Z has been keeping up with 1, 2, and 3 because these things happens in threes with black celebrities who have passed in recent days. So yes, Mr. Z has been keeping up with that. So yes, right. So we're still listening and watching. There was something else I wanted to bring up. I did watch and I think I'm going to have to do a separate stream about that. I did watch Angela Rye speaking to Jill Stein. I want to tie that to Trump speaking to the NABJ. And I agree with BGS. I actually want him to do a panel with that, or if he want to just bring me up, because I actually have a lot to say about what black women are doing to their image. Subsequently, also somewhat black men's image, but not all the way, because black women were supposed to be the moral compass of this nation, and they're shredding it. It's already shredded. They're shredding it in everyone's faces by the way they speak, because once again, they've taken that a bit too seriously, and so they think they can talk down to, and wave their finger at everyone. On camera, mind you, in front of everyone. It's not smart. From the NABJ to Angela Rye speaking to Jill Stein, we've seen this multiple times. It was one thing. See, black women got it all type of backwards. It was one thing you doing that to black men. Then it was one thing you doing that to black men on camera. Of course, white society's going to stand back and clap it up for that. It's funny to them to watch that. They love it. They love it. They love watching a black woman talk down to a black man. But now you're doing it to non-black folks. Huh? Dear black women, this is not smart. It's not good politics. Huh? So what we're watching now is black women speaking to politicians, aspiring politicians, people of note, people with power, people with some influence, and mother them and try to wag their finger at them. It's not smart. Right? It is not smart. So continuing. This, I would argue, is black women who have been smelling their own farts for too long and who have actually bought the hype of them being the moral compass and being morally superior to everyone else, and thinking that other people actually agree with that to a certain extent. And even for those that do agree with that, what does it mean when you watch influential, powerful black women, or just influential black women, tastemaker black women, belittle, especially disrespect people of note, people of prominence on camera in front of everyone, namely non-black men, white women, Latinos and Latinas, black women. This is not smart. For your own good, this isn't smart. Right? So watching Angela Rye speak to Jill Stein and speak to the brother who's Jill Stein's VP candidate, not smart. And shout out to Charlemagne who said, "Oh, I love seeing black women do what? Nuke their own image? All right, right? Nuke their own image? Okay, not smart, but okay, right?" So, continuing. All right, to the main subject. Oh boy. So, shout out to Louis, right? Louis Conyer for bringing this to us and saying, BGS and Mr. Z was right. And thank you for that, Louis. Thank you for that. And it's simple. I've said this before. I think I need to bring this term back again. Cosmic justice. And what you see from a lot of, we would say, quote unquote, modern women. So I really want to say Xers and down, is this idea: I will not be like my foremothers. I will not be like my foremothers. I'm not folding sheets. I'm not washing clothes. I'm not washing dishes. I'm not cooking every day. I'm not sex on demand. I'm not even being, forget all of that. Okay, cool. I'm not being agreeable. I'm not going to be kind. I'm not going to be nice. As a matter of fact, it's my right and my duty to be antagonistic and mean and condescending and rude, and a real man to just eat that or buy me out. Right? And so what you heard from this young lady, and by the way, the young lady I'm referring to is on the second and third link. What you heard from her is exactly what Z is saying. This concept of this cosmic justice. I'm not gonna be like my mom and them, right? My mom and them dealt with men who were a-holes and who um were mean and who didn't know their child's favorite color and just were horrible husbands and horrible fathers. All they had was the check. And so now all I do is bowl them in down to a check. What? Stop looking for consistency and logic, people. Huh? So the idea of this cosmic justice is that men are deserving of rude, snarky, mean, antagonistic, a-hole women. Because what I watched my mom go through with my dad, and what my grandma had to go through with my granddad. Nobody ever talks about the fact that grandma came with 3 kids from 4 different dudes. Z, the math don't math. I know. Nobody talks about that granddad was a good ass dude with no kids, and he looked out for grandma, and grandma had 2 and 3 kids from 2 and 3 different dudes. And grandma came up off of granddad because she saw granddad as a lick. Y'all never talk about that part. We only talk about, oh, granddad had a side family on the other side of town. Yeah, and grandma came to granddad after she spent her best years pogo sticking with the local freaking rum runner. Huh? The one that used to do the numbers? Yeah, that part. The one that used to run moonshine? Nobody ever bring up that part. Right? So tying this back. What we have here are women who saying it's their right to mistreat men unless he's perfect. And I want to stress that because the young lady kept on saying over and over, yeah, if I meet my perfect man, if he's and I want to say this. This is when we get into the settling conversation. And you better believe it. What women are saying, what black women are saying, especially younger black women, is if you're perfect, you still got to kiss my ass. But maybe, possibly, it's not going to happen. Maybe I get on your program. Maybe, possibly, maybe. It's still not going to happen. If you're perfect, but everything short of perfection, I'm doing you a favor by breathing in your presence. Huh? Dear Dr. Richard Reeves, dear Dr. Scott Galloway, dear Dr. Umar Johnson, dear FD Signifier and foreign man in a foreign land, you can't fix this by making a bunch of kick-ass men. They want rich men that bow. Huh? You can't fix this with a bunch of defanged men and a bunch of boss hog women. That's not going to fix this. Huh? And that's what it is. And that's what the system is attempting to create here. A bunch of defanged men who are okay with ending up with the woman as her last resort, and then you overlook that and ignore it while she treats you like crap because she could barely eat without you. And because you're not him, because you're not the it guy, she resents you, even though you're the lifeline. Huh? So yes, Mr. Z has been saying it, patriarchy by feminist specifications. And when you let the women talk long enough, they're going to describe that. They may not use those words, they're not going to use those words. But it's going to be patriarchy by feminist specifications. Now let's pause right here. Oh, this is frightening. Oh, this is scary. Crystalline Kerosene. Yes, Miss Pink Pill herself. Yes, the swirler queen extraordinaire herself. Is Mr. Z agreeing with the pink pill? Or is the pink pill agreeing with Z? Is Crystalline Kerosene, because you know broken clock is right twice a day, saying what we all already know? Thank you, Miss Kerosene, for admitting something that we already know. But thank you for having the ovaries to actually say it. These newfangles are arrogant. You're right. Huh? Now, as I said before, and as BGS has stressed, the environment has produced the most insufferable, mean, condescending, rude women arguably the world has ever known, and gave them just a couple of dollars, and now they pretty much gave the average man their ass to kiss. Right up until they realize, oh crap, I can't afford my life. And as Crystalline Kerosene was saying, I want to be very clear. That's what Crystalline Kerosene was saying. Right? These women are giving life, men, the society, their ass to kiss. And the world is going to learn them. The world is going to teach them. The universe is going to teach them. God is going to teach them whatever you believe in. Huh? So hearing Crystalline Kerosene of all people say that was somewhat frightening, right? To be frank, there's no other where to go. We are on the right side of history. And we've been saying this for the longest. It's good to hear that Crystalline Kerosene is finally admitting it. Now, be very clear, Crystalline Kerosene is still pretty much talking about white men. Huh? Be very clear. Crystalline Kerosene is essentially still talking about white men. But at least she said the quiet part out loud to the women. It only took her like 2 decades. Huh? So, other than this being cosmic justice talk, and Crystalline Kerosene actually saying something frighteningly that we actually agree with, or better yet, she agrees with us, right? Crystal and Karazin also said the women are being very obnoxious. Yes, Crystal and Karazin, very obnoxious, very antagonistic, and just generally assholes. You know, like Mr. Z has been saying on his channel since the beginning. Mean, condescending, rude, snarky assholes. And thank you for putting that word back in Mr. Z's repertoire. Obnoxious. Yes, Miss Karazin, very much so. Huh? That's why black women, see, it would have been different if black women could actually say, you know what? I got proof that it's black men. Because look at all these white men and Latino men marrying us. I didn't say having sex with. I didn't say chasing after. I didn't say giving you a compliment. The first person to ever compliment me for my looks was a white man. Shut up. I said marrying. See, if it was really black men, then black women would have evidence. Not of some random Latino dude trying to smash. No. Not some random Asian guy trying to annoy and anger his mother so he come home with a black girl. No. If black women were correct that black men are at fault, then black women would have like innumerable amounts of marriages to non-black men. Huh? But no, Miss Karazin, that obnoxious, entitled, mean, snarky, rude, sassy attitude coming from women writ large, modern women writ large. Y'all know Mr. Z hate this term, modern women. But modern women writ large, black women specifically, mainly because y'all are not white women. This is really, I promise y'all, Mr. Z, are you going to say this every single time? Every single time. That these women's biggest issue is that they're not socio-politically upper middle class and above white women. So they give the world their ass to kiss because it's not fair. Why are black women always told to settle? White women aren't told to settle. Yes, Miss Karazin, obnoxious. Now we already know single, childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. So yes, a handful of them can be Angela Rye, can be Amanda Seals, can be Ebony K. Williams. Yes, a handful of black women will be that. Can be Oprah. Huh? Yes. A handful of black women can be that and will be that. The Condoleezas of the world. But for the vast majority of single and childless black women, your fate has already been sealed. Ooh, Z, ooh. St. Louis Federal Reserve, Black Enterprise Institute, $3,300 black women, single, childless black women, that's your wealth. 8 cents to the white man's dollar. The least amount of wealth of any group in America. So for all you gold diggers out there, so one of the brothers on the third clip, I want to say, was it the third one? I want to say it was the third one. Kept on stressing that, was it the third? It might have been the second or third. And he was doing the math. He was like, wait. You're saying that most of the men, and this is not to Kirsten and Karazin, this was to the young lady they were interviewing about being a gold digger. And the brother was saying, you're saying that most of the men who are complaining about gold diggers don't have gold to dig. So you're saying most men don't have it, but you're telling women to that being a gold digger is their best bet. How is this supposed to work? So he's doing the math for her. He's doing the social math. How and he couldn't get an answer out of her. The best he could get from her was this ego protection thing that she couched as protecting your heart as a black woman. That men are dusty, men are going to disappoint you, men are going to use you, all this fragile ego crap. Men are going to use you, men are going to dog you, men are going to play you. So the best you can do as a woman to protect yourself is go after the money. Forget all this lovey-dovey stuff. Huh? I see you, Trev. Trev's giving me a bunch of different ways to say modern women. Year-to-date women, current configuration of women, recent example of women. Right? Mr. Z is stressing this because I want whoever is who may be listening to appreciate this. I've said it before, at least in the black community. It's not the men. So one thing Crystalline Karazin, I would argue, doesn't appreciate is that yes, we'll say with Trail Sids here, current configuration of women are obnoxious. True. Particularly the black ones. But what I don't think Crystalline Karazin and other women appreciate is your sons are listening and they're moving accordingly. Your sons are listening. Young men are listening and they are moving accordingly. They hear the women boiling them down to nothing but a pleasure toy, a walking ATM machine, and a overglorified guard dog. Your sons are listening. And your daughters are going to have to feel that as they get older. See, when they're young and tight and right and everything is sitting up, she can afford to be a bit arrogant. But as Crystalline Karazin rightfully was saying, life is going to learn them. And so what women think they're going to do is lie to the men's faces and tell the men what we should value about them. Oh yeah, that's going to work. That's it. Well, I'm older now and I have more experiences and I'm wiser and I'm, I know what I like and I don't like. Isn't that what you're looking for? And what men hear is, I'm more jaded. I'm more resentful. I'm not easily impressed. I'm entitled. I'm angry at every situation that didn't work in the past. Huh? I want you to make up for all the exes that weren't ish. Isn't that what you're looking for, man? Huh? Shout out to all the women who keep on lying to men's faces. I thought I'd become more. Isn't that what Lauren said to Ebony K. Williams on the Breakfast Club? And I think BGS covered this a while ago. The young lady that was walking on she was walking. I think she was like 21 or 22. Black woman, young lady, dark chocolate, saying, yeah, I could have fun now because I'm gonna have more value as I get older and I have more experiences. I'm like, who keeps on telling y'all this? Who keeps on saying to women that men are head over heels for y'all, head over heels for women, that are older and have more quote unquote experiences and are more quote unquote knowledgeable and smarter and wiser. Who keeps telling you that? Huh? So what we have here, once again, Miss Crystal and Kerosene, it's not just obnoxious young women, particularly young black women. They are mean. They're antagonistic, unwarranted sass, rudeness. And that's going to cost them. See, now they're saying, oh, I don't want to have kids anyway. I don't care about getting married. A man needs to do for me. Right? A man needs to keep me. Keep a man. A man needs to keep me. And Miss Kerosene, you know better than that. See, the math say single black and Latina women, single childless black and Latina women have the least amount of wealth in America. That's what the math say. Meanwhile, black women keep on telling you how they don't need a man. I could do bad all by myself. Yes, ma'am, literally you will be. Huh? Yes, ma'am, literally you will be doing bad by yourself. You are correct. You're just saying it as a phrase. First of all, that's an old ass phrase, but you're just saying it as a phrase. No, ma'am, you literally will be doing bad by yourself. Right? So these women are living vicariously through Fannie Willis. A man is not a plan, a man is a companion. Actually, Miss Fannie Willis, the numbers say different, particularly for black women. Huh? So what we have are just a bunch of insufferable women who said anything short of a paymaster, they not going. And that's perfectly okay until you start to scale that. Oops. Huh? See, once you start to scale that, see if it's 1% of women like that, no one cares. That's not going to affect your society too much. 5% is going to hurt, but you can maybe bear it. 10%, oh crap. 15, yikes. A quarter, oh man. When nearly half, I think it's actually a little bit more than half, of your young people are single and childless, and many of them plan on being that for the rest of their lives, now you have a problem. Demographic crisis, social unrest, social degradation. Oh, yeah. Huh? Less taxpayers in the future. Say bye bye to your Social Security. Say bye bye to your not mechanized military. Huh? Your literal, say it again, Z, your literal manpower, or you could kiss that goodbye. Because the women are throwing a temper tantrum. They got a funky college degree and it didn't graduate them into upper middle class white womanhood. And that's for the working class white women. That's for some Asian women. That's for Latina women. You better believe it. And that's for black women. Huh? It's great. And like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. It's great that this society has given women microphones and the women are telling you what they really think and feel, and that we have brothers like FD Signifier telling us, oh, don't believe your lying eyes. Well, that's just a niche. That's just a small amount. That's not a real. You're exaggerating. That's not where. Because he's in his bubble. And because he's in his bubble, He thinks far more black women move and operate the way the circle of black women around him purport to think and feel. Huh? Dear FD, dear Dr. Scott Galloway, we're not going. The men are not going. Black men are not going. Tell them women to starve. Your a-hole, condescending, mean, snarky, rude, obnoxious, sassy for no reason ass daughters better find some lame slipping in college that they're going to divorce. 90% divorce. For college educated women, they file for 90%. Huh? If she doesn't catch a lame slipping in college, it ain't happening. We're not. Shout out to Shuri Shepard. We're not doing it. The Rent-A-Husband factory is closed. Mr. Z, what are you saying? The idea that you're going to be insufferable, mean, condescending, rude, snarky, extremely overweight, oops. And so you don't have a husband, you don't have a boyfriend, you don't have a man. And so you're going to borrow your friend's husband, your friend's man, your friend's boyfriend to help you around the house. We're not even speaking giggity right now. No! The husband on a discount, boyfriend on a discount? No! Thank you, Detroit. Husbands are us. Huh? So yes, Miss Crystalline Kerosene, thank you for being honest and telling the truth. Absolutely obnoxious, mean, snarky. Now I don't even like the framing of how she was saying this. Once again, shout out to Crystalline Kerosene. I don't appreciate the framing, but she said what she said. And by the way, for all of you, y'all could see what Crystalline Kerosene said on the first link in the description box. It's about 6 or so minutes long. Right? And you got just a bit of honesty from Crystalline Kerosene. The framing was still off. It was still, women didn't have any rights and women couldn't do anything. They couldn't breathe unless a man told them. But then she goes into how are women responding to this environment where, once again, they've been liberated. Shout out to Black Uru. Liberated into madness. Liberated into madness. Perfect saying. And what we're witnessing is what that liberation looks like. What that liberation looks like on the other side of the equal sign. Right. On the other side of that equal sign. Shout out to Louis, because exactly, Louis, as I said, patriarchy by feminist specifications. And somebody said it in the comments too. Shout out to you in Louis' comments. Patriarchy by feminist specifications. Mr. Z, you know why he said that when he said it? Because that's exactly, and Crystalline Kerosene said it. And they're not going to let it go. Dear Crystalline Kerosene, dear FD Signifier, dear T Noir, dear Nappy Edit Jojoba, dear Kim Foster, if she's a heterosexual woman on planet Earth, she's never, ever, 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 ever gonna let go of this ideas of patriarchy. Let me say that again. Ever. Huh? Have fun because y'all are coming across 15 or 20, not even 20, 10, 15% of women who are okay with out earning their boyfriends, their husbands, huh? And generally not being the meanest person in the world, resentful at the world that she earns more than him. Okay, fine. You could come across 10, 15% of women who don't hate their husbands because they earn more than him. Okay, cool. That's not the vast majority of women. You're going to try to prove Z wrong, and you are going to fail miserably. Right? Shout out to Terrell Bentley. Z said what he said. Shout out to Nene Leaks. I said what I said. Right? One of the best sayings on TV ever. So simple. So simple, but to the point. I said what I said. Right? I should have never gave her that. Well, I said what I said. Hmm? So this is why Mr. Z said what he said, talking about Z saying what he said. This is why I said what I said when FD jumped on the panel the first time, or the channel the first time. Y'all are attempting to defang the men, and y'all are not saying anything to the women. And the women are coming out here expecting for paymaster men. Y'all did not tell them the social math. Dear Dr. Richard Reeves, y'all are being cowards. Dr. Richard Reeves, well, you can't have social change without breaking some eggs. Dr. Richard Reeves, you're a whole PhD. You're a researcher. No one said it to the women. By the way, you know what's going to come with this, right? Like, y'all gotta have to let go of the idea of the paymaster boyfriends and husbands, right? Y'all know with equality, we mean equality. You know, like equality means equality, not patriarchy by feminist specifications, not pick and choose patriarchy, not pick and choose feminism. This gold digger was telling you exactly what she on. The perfect man. Kristen Kerrison told you exactly what the women are on. They're not letting go of the paymaster part of patriarchy. Ever. And y'all thought that would be okay if you could get the babies out the deal. Okay, fine, they're not going to get married, but at least they'll have sex and have children. And the women said, yeah, about that. See, I'm telling the system don't care as long as the babies are here. But the women said, yeah, no, we're going to turn marriage into a luxury good. And then we still want to have children in wedlock for the most of us, which Mr. Z actually appreciates. Okay, right. The problem the women are having is, yeah, we don't want to marry anyone but that top 10%, though. Some of us are settled for the top 20. And we'll have oops babies for the top 40, but all the rest of y'all, nope. And you can't maintain a society with those type of numbers. Now, can you? Huh? You cannot maintain a society with those type of numbers. The 10%, top 10% of men are spoiled for choice. The top 20 are getting it in. The top 40 are having oops babies. And every other man, well, get it how you live. And the bottom 50, do you even really exist? Do you live, bro? Or are you a figment of the women's imagination? Oh wait, she doesn't see you. You're invisible, so you're not even a figment of her imagination. Because they painted themselves into a corner. And Els Active says, why are these guys so afraid to speak the truth to women? Because they painted themselves into a corner. See, they over-feminized the environment, and now any type of criticism of women's behavior, any critique of women's proclivities, any train tracks is seen as sexist. Any of it. So you always have to couch it in a way that's beneficial to women, and you got to subtly, at the very least subtly, jab at the men. This is what Dr. Richard Reeves is engaging in right now. You have to appeal to the sensibilities of women. You have to jab at the men. because the women don't want to hear it unless you throw a couple of men under the bus, at least a couple. And you got to couch it in ways that are beneficial to women overtly, not in the long run. You have to speak as if, hey, look, ladies, we're trying to look out for you. And in a weird way, you are. Because the women have said, if it doesn't benefit us, we don't care if men starve in the streets and die. Huh? The women are saying that. And that would be great if the numbers would allow for it. Unfortunately for the ladies, the numbers are not allowing for it. Huh? The ladies are running into the wall that the math ain't mathing. You can't maintain a society with about 40 some odd percent of men having children. Not this capitalist society, not all the nice stuff these women want. Nope. Not the lifestyle, not the big houses, not the luxury cars, not the modern technology. You can't have any of this, right? You cannot have any of this without a growing population, or at least a stable population. Huh? Social Security, as Mr. Z said before, paved roads, always on electricity. We don't have rolling blackouts in the US like that. But the women are so myopic. Case in point, the gold digger. The women are so myopic, they said screw all of that. Lifestyle now or nothing. Huh? And so they openly push short-sighted selfishness. Huh? Now, is this going to benefit most women? Absolutely not. Most black women? Hell no. Right? Thank you, Trell. Indoor plumbing, all the modern luxuries and tech that people have grown so accustomed to, like it's been here for decades and centuries. Most of the stuff that we're talking about been here for what? If even 100 years? If even 150 years? Huh? And yet we've grown so accustomed to them so fast that many women have forgotten that you need people to maintain these things. Uh-oh. You need men to physically lift, move, build, construct, design these things. And giving them the middle finger will be detrimental to you. Now. Uh-oh. Not in 30 years. No, but now. See, younger Xer women, millennial women, Gen Z women, oh no, you're going to feel this in your lifetime. Huh? Boomer women, you might be out of here before. Maybe. But Xer women, especially younger ones, millennials and Gen Z, oh no, you're going to feel this in your lifetime. Huh? If they get rid of Social Security, dear black women, you're going to feel that in your lifetime. All you younger Xers, especially you millennials and Gen Z, men and women, quite frankly, black, white, Latino, Asian, and otherwise, but especially, once again, single black women have the least amount of wealth in America. For all of you who think you're going to come up off of your sister girls and the girlfriends, and yeah, that's it. Have fun fighting over Captain Crunch at 60 years old, fist fighting in a house full of women over Captain Crunch. Have fun. Y'all listen to Z clearly. When the story comes out about that in the next decade or two, y'all make sure to send that to Z. Because I said it. Tonight on Channel 7 News, brawl breaks out in front of house such and such address over Captain Crunch. 3 women brought to jail today. Huh? And didn't the young lady say that? Something about her girlfriends and her girlfriends will be there or whatever the hell. They're gonna have radical feminist crap again. And what did Dr. Green Gorilla tell us? Every time they tried it, it's failed. Every single time they've tried it, it's failed. It's always gonna fail. Because who's establishing the discipline? Uh-oh. Huh? Who has the last say? No, we voted committee and did that. Who has the last say? Period. And there you go. It's always gonna fail. We could give y'all all the resources. We could give y'all all the money in the world. It will still fail. Huh? It's always gonna fail. Because what are y'all living for? A couple of baubles? What did the young lady say? I tell my friends, get the bins, not the baby. Or at least get the bins before the baby. Get the bins, not the baby. Huh? Yeah, that sounds nice. So the young lady says that she was taught different, right? Her elders taught her different. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Her elders taught her different. So she's admitting that older black women raised her differently. They taught her different. But she watched them struggle, or she watched them work, and she don't want to work. Okay, fine. Right? So she's being flown out and taken out on trips, and there was a part where her godmother was on. Her godmother's Jamaican, and her godmother was on, and her godmother was saying, yeah, she's going out of town like twice a month. Sometimes with men, sometimes with her girlfriends. Either way. What she's saying is, even though, so we have to give a little bit of grace to older women in this conversation, even though older women are telling her different, she's saying, yeah, about that. See, I watched y'all struggle, and I'm not doing it. Huh? See, I watched y'all struggle, I'm not doing. So Mr. Z has said this before. When did we raise all of these fragile, weak women that we keep on saying are strong and kick ass? Shout out to all you pundits, all you male ass kissers, especially you white ones. You male feminist ass kissers of women. I didn't say encouragers of women. I said ass kissers. Oh, I know all of these kick-ass women. We do not want to marry your asshole daughters because she got a degree and she earned 6 figures. Tell her to starve. Z, she earns 6 figures. She's not going to starve. Tell her to starve. You see these people like Joe Scarborough and all these. Yeah, I know all these kick-ass women and they struggle to get men. Yeah, because she's an asshole. Especially if she's a white one. Oh, boy. You trying to tell me you know a white woman earning 6 figures and she don't got no man and she not super heavy? Yeah, she's an asshole. I said it. And if you think black men are harsh, if you think black men are harsh, huh? So we have these men who placate women and then produce this in society and then wonder why the hell their daughters aren't getting married and then tell themselves and lie to everyone, well, it's the men, it's the boys, it's the, they're not mature enough and they don't want to clean up their room and they don't want to get a job and they want to stand on their mother's couch and, huh? And they don't want to do right and they're playing video games and they're smoking and they're watching too much corn and And here's what Mr. Z has to say about that. You know what? Some of that is true. Some of that is true. And ooh, Z, ooh. Say it again, Z. Say it again. And what incentives are there on the table? So you have the gold digging women on one hand. You have the women that all want to be upper middle class and above white women, which is just about every woman in America. You have the mean, snarky, a-hole, condescending, rude, obnoxious, educated, and accomplished women. These are your marriage is a business ass women. Huh? Shout out to all you marriage is a business ass women. Then you have your women that want to live off of a man. Then you have your women who are kicking ass and actually earn a lot that still want to live off of a man. Oops. Shout out to Ebony K. Williams. These men have these four-door Audis and these homes in Greenwich, and they think they're doing big things. These four-door Audis and a house in Greenwich. Huh? So no. What we're going to continue to see are people, women struggling, and sometimes it won't be financial. Shout out to Amanda Seals. You're going to see them struggling emotionally and psychologically, mentally, because they've made themselves insufferable, extremely combative and argumentative, and they can't turn it off. And they want so desperately to meet a man with means who ignores that. As a matter of fact, takes that on. As a matter of fact, finds that endearing. And they won't find it. Shout out to Amanda Seals. And they won't find it. Shout out to Ebony K. Williams. Huh? What you have are women who said money is the motive. MOE, money over everything. Right? As the young lady said, the Benz over the baby. you, shout out to Big Thomas, and Trail says house real big, car real big, everything real big. Everything real big. So we're covering this to put the exclamation point at the end of the statement, right? To put the exclamation point at the end of the statement. Crystal and Karazin actually said it. The women are showing out. They feel entitled to show out for what they feel are ages, centuries, millennia of women being under the thumb of men. Not a dance, no. Not an agreement, no. But men oppressing women. Not pressing women, giggity, but oppressing women. And Nema says they want functionally dysfunctional relationships. Z, that sounds like fun. I'm being funny, Nema. I agree with you, by the way. That sounds like a reality TV show. That sounds like fun. Just the right amount of drama, huh? Just the right amount of toxic relationship. See, you hear me? And L's active says, LOL. Bins over baby is one hell of a life stance, brother. So I know you in the UK. I know y'all have it too. Listen, the neoliberal mindset of women in America, bro. I'm not gonna say it's worse than every other nation on planet Earth, but it's crazy over here. Especially if you like Z and you live in like one of these metropolitan ass areas. If you live in like a South Florida, a New York, a LA, right? Maybe a Houston, a Atlanta, a Chicago. That money is everything thing, it knows no bounds. Especially for black women who feel like they have to do this to keep up with whatever they feel white women are on and to surpass white women. So they want a man to pay, make me a white woman, right? And when they say white women, once again, upper middle class and above, huh? So yeah, it's different, right? It's entirely different ball game in New York, in Miami, and LA, places like that, right? So yeah, the bins over the bay. I'm glad she said it. Now this is somewhat teeny tiny bit of a unique situation because she's a self-admitted gold digger. So she's going to say things that other women would be a bit more coy to admit. They wouldn't admit that. They wouldn't say it, and they definitely wouldn't say it like that. They wouldn't frame it the way this young lady did. Their actions would agree with her, but the words may not, right? Not too many women, even black women, are willing to say the things that she said the way she said it. So we have to be a bit honest about that also, right? With that, with that, the reason why we cover things like this and the reason why we put the exclamation point to the point, right, is to emphasize this is what our boys and our men are coming across the board, but specifically for black women. And this will have long-term social and political ramifications, which will lead into economic ramifications. Oh, you better believe it. Huh? You better believe it. And we have to appreciate Crystal and Karazin for actually saying the quiet part out loud that women know. See, Crystal and Karazin's old enough to know what's going to happen to most women, namely black women. She know what their outcome is going to be. She's under no illusion. With the white men they date or not, ooh, Z, ooh. Huh? Crystal and Karazin knows. This is why I say let them talk. When they're in these type of spaces, they'll let it out every once in a while. They'll let the cat out the bag. I don't know if I should be saying that right now, seeing that I'm Haitian and we're supposed to be eating cats, and having a cat in a bag is probably not the best saying to use at this current moment. Why is the cat in the bag? Z, are you about to eat the cat? Why is the cat in the bag, Z? Why did you let the cat out the bag, Z? Are you about to souffle the cat? I mean, you mean giggity, but not that way. Huh? Might not be the best saying to be using right now. Just saying. Alexa, play Bubba on Forrest Gump. Boiled shrimp, souffled shrimp, stirred shrimp, fried shrimp, cat, fried cat, souffled cat, sauteed cat. Right? Z, you making light of this thing? Yes, I am. Hmm? From Africa, I came said curry cat. Curry cat, Africa from Africa I came, or furry cat. Giggity. Right? Vincent, many ways to skin a cat. You hear me? I can't use none of these phrases no more. Right? The other day I said the bee's knees, and Indigo Flow says the cat's meow. I can't say that no more. I can't say that. I can't use that phrase anymore at all. Oh, oh man. Yeah. So we're bringing this up to emphasize where this leads to. Where does this lead to? Once again, I'm not just talking to be talking. Through y'all, I am channeling, there we go, see, what your average black man is saying, thinking, what we're saying in barbershops, how we feel about these things. I'm not just speaking for me, and I'm not just speaking for the black manosphere. Right? There are consequences to constantly antagonizing men, black men, and black women are about to feel that. And here's the kicker. It's not even going to be conscious from your sons. Your sons see the way you speak. They see the way you move. They see the way the young women around their age speak and move and think and feel. And they move accordingly. And you know what accordingly looks like? Not marrying your daughters. Not having children with your daughters. Staying the hell away from your daughters. Huh? And we're watching that. And for larger society, we are watching as more and more men become minimalist and do their own version of an American style laying flat. The US economy can't afford that. The US economy needs aspirational, striving, working hard, as Dr. Richard Reeves says, overproducing men. Right? Men that overextend themselves. And the US needs a lot of those men. Women, ooh, women need a lot of those men. Uh-oh. And what the men are showing through action is for what? See, Mr. Z's doing a lot of talking. The young men aren't doing a lot of talking. They're just moving accordingly. Whether that's SYSBM or some different race version of it, whether that's passport bros, whether that's once again becoming a minimalist, whether that's only looking out for self, huh? And this society and the women cannot afford it, right? And a split Jim, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And a split Jim says, "Happy B-Day, Z." Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right. So we're covering this to emphasize it. And I was actually kind of taken aback hearing Crystal and Karazin just straight up say it. Just straight up say it. Yeah. These women want patriarchy and feminism. Yes. And the young lady kept on saying, and this is why the money matters so much. It's a cheat. I don't necessarily want, look, I don't know if I want to get married to you, but I could definitely take all the resources off your hands. The patriarchy by feminist specifications that you don't even want to just implement with your own boyfriend or husband. You want to implement that on all men. In other words, I want you to feel obligated to me without having something in return. Huh? And if you scale that, you have the worst society humanly possible. You cannot scale that. You cannot scale, shout out to Trell, me fi me. You can't scale that. A country of 340 some odd million people, you think you could scale me fi me? You cannot scale me fi me. And we have far too many Xers, millennials, and Gen Z me fi me. It gets worse as you get younger. Huh? 300 and some odd million me fi me's. And everyone here has needed help sometime in their life. Everyone here has needed, sometimes you got it, sometimes you didn't, someone to overextend themselves to you when you didn't deserve it. Ooh. Huh? Everyone. And that's why Mr. Z speaks the way he does. Dear ladies, if you want to go here, what Mr. Z is saying is we could go here. You ain't going to like it. I'll say it again. Let me say it one more zillion time. Particularly in the black community. Black men lose a gender war. Say it again, Z. Black men lose a gender war against black women. Black men do lose. Black men and black women are attached by the hip. Black men will lose a gender war against black women. Unfortunately for black women, they will lose harder. Oops. Huh? Now, many have heard Z say that. Would you or would you not say, based off the Federal Reserve numbers, Mr. Z is correct? Once again, Federal Reserve, the St. Louis Federal Reserve, excuse me. Single childless black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Black women losing harder. Black men, after black women threw black men under the bus for white feminists, black men have 21 cents to the white man's dollar. Black women have 8 cents to the white man's dollar. Black women losing harder. Black men start more businesses. Black men employ more people. Black women losing harder. Most black female businesses are sole proprietorships. She has no employees. She's cash strapped. Now, same thing for most black male businesses, but black men once again have more businesses that are viable. Black women losing harder. Black women are in more debt, especially when you count, college student loan debt, because black women are trying to find ways to make up for not having a black man. Black women losing harder. And St. Cyr says, hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Black women are losing harder. Black women were always going to lose harder. Because shout out to Nina Turner, all society had to do was ego stroke black women with a bunch of platitudes and BS positive language and wish fulfillment crap and positive stories and positive endings and talk of liberation, liberated from black men, liberated from capitalism. You're not getting away from that for a while. Liberated from standards and rules and norms. Liberated from the European beauty standard. Have fun with that. That's all this society had to sell black women on, and black women went for it hook, line, and sinker. And let's be very clear: did black women realize they were being delusional? Many of them did. They went down the road anyway, and they were livid at anyone who tried to wake them up from the delusional stupor. Like black men, huh? And so here we are. And there's a cost to that, ladies. There is a cost to that. Huh? So what you saw from this young lady is she just was being honest about her generation, and she said 50%. The young lady said 50% of her generation are on some lovey-dove thing, and the other 50 think like her. That's what she said. Huh? She said 50. Huh? And we're supposed to do what with that? Dear Dr. Umar Johnson, dear FD Signifier, this idea y'all have of community where women like this get to live and move and operate, and yet the men are supposed to do for them anyway, or in Dr. Umar Johnson's case, black men are supposed to be so kick-ass that you don't give her and other women like her a choice but to get on your program because your chakras are aligned and you're just so kick-ass and you're earning so much money and you're so educated and you're so charismatic and you're walking around here with a 12-inch member and you Earth Mother Goddess Queen, Africa Queen, Queen, Queen every 5 seconds. You give her, there's no way she can deny the African God swag. Yawn. Huh? No, we are not doing for these women. Shout out to Crystal and Karazin. No, Crystal and Karazin. When life learns these women, as you said, men will not be there to pick up the pieces. Y'all better go find it from white men. Shout out to you, Crystal and Karazin. I hear you. You're right. Black men will not be here to pick up those pieces. Check that interracial marriage rate for young, new marriages for young black men. Check that interracial marriage rate for newlywed black men. They're not going to be here to pick up those pieces when these women finally hit that damn wall. The lying to themselves mental wall, huh? They aged out the game economic wall, so they can't take 500 from this dude, 300 from that dude, 50 from this dude, 100 from that dude to pay their bills. When they hit that emotional wall, huh? So yes, black women, you go get that from the white dudes then, the Latino dudes, the ones that already had 2 and 3 kids from a previous marriage, and so now he can have some interracial fun, but he gave the Latino community their children. He gave the white society their children. I'm not even gonna mention no goddamn Asians. It's not a thing. But fine, fine, fine. He gave Asian society their children, and so now he can have some interracial fun with a 37-year-old black woman, and he's 55, 57, 60. See, these young ladies, your average one in specific, they're not being honest about this gold digging thing. That gold digging thing is not getting them what they want. They're not being honest with the gold digging thing, yo. That gold digging thing is not getting them what they want. If you super bad and you're in the right city, yeah, maybe. Maybe. There's a lot of competition still, but maybe. But if you're okay looking, you're not a conversationalist, You're kind of an a-hole. You don't really got a body like that, like that, like that. Cut it with the gold digging. You're not gold digging. You're dumpster diving. And you're failing at it. Huh? All of this, if you like me, if you want to talk to me, hit my Cash App. Yawn. All the Gen Z and young millennials talking about hit their Cash App. For what? Starfish sex, mediocre box, below mediocre box. And you're not even a conversationalist. You're not even intellectually stimulating. Ma'am, I do not want to talk about pop culture gossip. I don't care what Ari is getting. Huh? I do not care about Cardi B and Offset. I don't care, ma'am. This is not news. This is pop culture entertainment. And it's not even that entertaining. Huh? Shout out to all of us that are conversationalists. All right. I heard BGS say the other day again. He was like, Ed and Mr. Z, where they could go, like, look, BGS, I don't know where I got it from. I think it's from Senior Z. That's what it is. I get that from him. It's not from Mama Z. It's definitely from Papa Z. Right? Shout out to all of us that are conversationalists. If we know a little bit about a little bit, you can have a whole conversation with us. We'll talk and listen. Huh? Exactly, better you. Better you says, OMG, did you see what Bernice Burgos was wearing? Yawn. Hysterical. And Passport OG says, you better pay your sorority. And that's what them ladies are part of, right? You better pay your sorority. Some of the sorority sisters, almost all of them are part of that. Oops. Ooh. Y'all better end up with one of your fraternity brothers. Because once y'all come out here in the real world, you're out here with Z. And we show you no sympathy. Ooh, Z, you rhyming. Ooh, you rhyming. Shout out to all you snarky, a-hole, mean, condescending, rude sorority sisters. Shout out to y'all. Y'all, you better end up with one of them fraternity brothers. Huh? Let me say it again, because when Compassion clipped it out and he put it on his channel as a short, I saw a comment from a sister that said, oh, this is projection. Let me say it again. Dear old elder black men and elder black women, if you raise a mean, snarky, rude, obnoxious, entitled, sassy for no reason black woman, your black little girl is a whole black woman now. Understand that if she doesn't catch one of these brothers or white dudes or Latinos, it's not going to be Asian. That's not a thing. If she doesn't catch one of them in university and college, do you understand how difficult it is going to be to get that woman married off? Your little girl, you can miss us with my daughter's so kick-ass and she's doing so well in her career and she's so educated and these men are not on her level. We do not care about your daughter hiding behind a degree because she's an asshole. I want to be very clear to all the elder black men and black women. If you raised an asshole daughter, she gonna be out here. She might throw a temper tantrum and rose toward herself to death. She might do same-sex loving relationship thing behind your back. Huh? She just might be out here single as hell. She might be to pass around for some, swaggy ass white dude, right? White boy Mike. Oh, or Julio. But understand something. We're not marrying your a-hole daughters. To all you single mothers out there who really put in your daughter's mind, get her education, do well, don't worry about no man. A man is not the Fannie Willis, right? A man is not a plan, a man is a companion. We are going to make your daughters feel that. I want to be very clear. It's not a conscious thought. Mr. Very few men know about the black manosphere. Mr. Z don't got that type of reach. Not yet, anyway. No, I want to be very clear. Men, I'm not just saying black men, will see what your daughter is on and they will move accordingly. For all of you single mothers who raised highly accomplished, highly educated black women who are assholes, miss us at work when my daughter, she's kick ass and she's doing, but for some reason these young men they're not men anymore. They don't want to be husbands. They don't want to be fathers. Yeah, your daughter's an asshole. Of course we don't want to be a father and share a child with her. Of course we don't want to be a husband to her. Not your daughter. No, absolutely not. Huh? And I want to be very clear. Mr. Z's not talking out his ass right now. The numbers prove it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Huh? These young men are different. Your daughters can't even entice them with suggested sex anymore. These young men are different. They would much rather play video games and watch corn than go on a date with your mean, snarky, a-hole, entitled, condescending, rude, sassy, obnoxious ass daughters. The gold diggers like this young lady right here? Yeah, nope. So yes, to the whoever that lady was in the comments for Compassionate's short where Mr. Z said it, I'ma say it again for clarification, ma'am, whoever you are. I said it and the numbers show it, particularly for black women, but even more and more for Latina and white women. Dear America, dear Dave Ramsey, dear Steve Harvey, dear DL Hughley, to all you men, white, black, Latino, Asian, and otherwise, who have educated, even attractive, educated, career-oriented, asshole daughters. We're not going. Tell her here's a pair of boxing shoes and boxing gloves and go fight for the elite white man. But guess what? He's gonna smash, but he not going neither. Thank you, Els Active. The young men started drizzle drizzle movement. Dear all you elders, your daughters were the ones that were calling into Kevin Samuel's show at 21 and 24 and 28 years old, telling him who wants to be with average anyway. They not building nothing with a man. Your 22-year-old daughters were talking about what they're not gonna build with a man. She just graduated college yesterday. Talking about who wants to be with average anyway. 23 years old. These young men are not going. They're not doing anything with your daughter but smashing, if even that. Huh? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So we're gonna continue to emphasize this. Shout out to Crystal and Karazin for actually saying this out loud. The women want patriarchy by feminist specifications. And your sons are not going. Because what is in it for them? A woman who's going to divorce him within 10 years, 5 to 10 years? Huh? A woman who sees him as the placeholder for the man that she actually wants to be with? A woman who used him as a sperm donor? Well, I was married. Ma'am, you were married for 4 years. So you were married just long enough to have 1 or 2 children and to file for divorce right as the second baby is coming out the womb. What is the incentive? Shout out to Real Talk with Yenny. What's the incentive? What is the incentive for the young men? Dear America, what is the incentive for the young men? Y'all raised a-hole. Shout out to Kristen and Karazin. She said it. And dear Kristen and Karazin, black women can't fix that by chasing after white men. White men know y'all coming, pun intended. And they will have fun with y'all and toss y'all back to the black community. And the vast majority of black men are not following after no white dude that a sister was over there with to spite black men. If a black woman was over there in white land, white-topia, to spite black men, if she was there at all, if she was there to spite black men, when the white dudes kick her off of Mount Olympus, black men are not going to catch. Nope. Huh? And Vince says, if I'm not gonna get married, I'm gonna just make myself Splackavelli and charge into the game. I should have never mentioned this song. Vince finally heard Splackavelli, now he know how to act, right? And thank you, Saint Cyr. I'm gonna check that out. Right? Huh? As a matter of fact, let's do that now. Let me make sure, because I want to make sure I have that link. Okay, give me a second, Saint Cyr. Let's see. And what do we have here? Okay. Okay, I got it. All right, thank you, Saint Cyr. I'll check it out later. So I want to emphasize that if you're raising a young woman like this gold digger woman, if you're raising a young woman like Ebony K. Williams or Amanda Seals, they're going to be out here. These women are not unattractive. They're educated. They're well spoken. Use your words. They know how to use their words. Maybe a little bit too much. Oops. Huh? The Angela Rise of the world. Ma'am, your dad was a whole civil rights activist. And here you are, childless and single. Oops. Yeah. Here you are. Gives you a second. We're having technical difficulties. There we go. All right, there we go. Hmm? So summing everything up here. Better you says she's shilling for Dems. Which one, Angela? Oh yeah, Angela Rye. Yeah. She is. She is. I saw it. I saw. I actually watched the Jill Stein debate. I made a mention of it in the beginning, and that's what led me into this topic today. This aggressive, antagonistic way of speaking to people that Black women have adopted, and now they're spreading that past just speaking to Black men, would not bode well for them in the future, right? It will not bode. We all seen the clip of the female soldier. I want to say she looked Latina years ago. This is an old clip. She looked like she was in the middle of the desert somewhere, and she was speaking about these women. They're so mean, and they speak to you like that, and they don't listen. And we all knew she was talking about Black women. We all knew she was talking about Black women. Even the way she was speaking about her interactions with these particular type of women, we all knew she was talking about Black women. Everybody knew. The white people knew. Black people knew. Everybody knew. We all pretended like we didn't know. She wasn't just talking about women. She was talking about Black women. Dear Black women. Even when they mention for those of us that ever saw the Adina Howard Unsung, this is something Black women been on for decades. And by the way, it cost Adina Howard her career being that person. It cost her her career because she went at the wrong white woman. And then she got shelved. Perfect example of what Mr. Z is talking about. Black women are destroying their opportunities and their chances at happiness and comfortable middle class living because they're doing too much and they're antagonizing Black men, anyone that would actually be of service to them. Huh? Thank you, Saint Cyr. And this is what I'm saying. Wrecking their own public image. L. I said it before. You know, I'm gonna go back and actually do it. I was studying for my CDL around the time, and one of these dudes who had tens of thousands, white dude, middle-aged white dude trucker. I saw him in Kevin Samuels' live comments. Black women were making asses out of themselves in front of non-black people. You know how many Latinos and white dudes watched Kevin? Black women, you were worried about the wrong thing. They were not focused on Kevin and what Kevin was saying because that's light work compared to how they speak about their women and their weight. You ain't seen harsh yet until you hear white dudes speak. Black women, y'all are making asses. Okay, fine. Black men ain't ish. You gotta go date you a white man. Which one? After they done seen how y'all acted on Kevin Samuels' show. Which one? Huh? I could get me a non-black. I could get me a Latino. I could get me a white man. I could get me an Asian man. Yeah, which one? Huh? They showed their and I'm using that as an example to say, you know, Kevin spoke of the ethnic image of black men, and you hear Media Man mention this also. And how many people, black women, are speaking about their image? Now, Chrissy was saying, you know, Kevin Samuels was talking about my image. It's my image. Kevin wasn't making fun of black women. Black women were making fun of black women. What black women actually say is, you know, we get to show up as our authentic self. I get to be my authentic self. I get to be me. Once again, the language of liberation. Got y'all all type of messed up. Huh? So while black men are speaking about our ethnic image, you have everyone kind of going in this direction. Kevin was going in this direction. You hear Coach Greg Adams speaking like this. You hear Media Man speaking like this. And on the other end, are black women saying we get to show up as our authentic self, right? I'm not constrained by social norms. The beauty standard, the European beauty standard. Huh? And that within itself is bad enough. Then when you add the way black women are speaking to non-black folks now on TV, on news, Angela Rye, did you think it was smart to speak to Jill Stein the way you did with Kamala running for president? You think that was smart? Yeah, because the average white dude saw that and was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't got a problem with black female leadership. Yeah, that sounds swell. Huh? Z, they wasn't gonna vote for her anyway. That's not the point. Huh? It's not smart. These are supposed to be political analysts and attorneys and lawyers and right? Master's degree in poli sci, went to law school, yada 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 yada. But then when they disagree with you, they're antagonistic. They overtalk you. They mommy you. They shame you. They wave their fingers at you. You think that was smart? Huh? Let me get this right. I agree with Tesla on a lot politically, not everything, but the way you went at, right? Larry Elder, then we get Angela Rye with Jill Stein, huh? We get Ebony K. Williams, huh? Tiffany Cross was on the Breakfast Club after black men get in line with behind black women. They've had Amanda Seals. They've had Jamila Lemieux. Huh? Are y'all sure this is black women? Are y'all sure this is what y'all want to do this? Huh? Are y'all sure this is are you sure this is the direction you want to go in? Huh? This is what you want your political face to look like? Huh? You got what's her face on Roland Martin trying to shame Ice Cube from BLM. Alicia Garza, there we go. Remembered her name. Black women, are you sure this is the face? Are you sure this is the face? Simone Sanders, loud talking people on CNN. Are you sure this is the face? I'm not even saying these people aren't sexist and racist towards black women. I'm saying you don't make it no better. Ooh, Z, ooh, Z, ooh, you're not supposed to say that. I'm saying there is a way to go back at them. Shout out to Harris Faulkner. Harris Faulkner sunned the hell out of Buddy Rowe from Fox and Friends. Live on camera. Subtle. Good jab. And he shut the hell up. And she got a white husband. Huh? There is a way to do this, dear black. I'll give black women that. Yeah, these white dudes are sexist and racist, and you didn't know that before you started working with them or for them. Uh-oh. Wait. Oh, you just found that out. Oh, you forgot you was in America. Yep, I'm mentioning that right now, Buckeye fan. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Buckeye fan says, just getting in. Did you see the Jill Stein on The Breakfast Club? Yep. Talking about that right now. Right. Yes. There is a way, and I gotta go find that clip for y'all. I'm gonna try to find it. Where Harris Faulkner subtly, very demure, very soft, checked the hell out of Buddy Rowe from, because she was doing this baking or cooking show segment, and he made one of these weirdo jokes or some offhand comment, and she just jab, and she was done. I gotta find that clip for y'all so y'all can see. Yes, dear black women, there's ways to do this. There's ways to defend yourself without. Oh, wait a minute, Z, you forgot. They're not trying to do that because they want to be my authentic self. Show up as my authentic, true self. Be the real me. Conform to social norms. What you think these white dudes don't be saying nothing crazy to white women? And the ones that got the ovaries, check them, better stop their way. Wait, you don't think white dudes talk crazy to brothers sometimes? Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. Y'all play a Pressure Olympics, and you think you're the only ones that got to go through it. Huh? Thank you, Low-Key Darkness. Yeah, I think it was Kool-Aid. I think he did make a Kool-Aid comment. If I remember correctly, I think, yeah. And she checked that quick, fast. Two-piece. Right? A good verbal two-piece. Jay Everything says, Z, you killing me with the authentic self. Man, but it's to liberate black women. If you want to get, it's so easy. The math is so easy. Talk crap about black men. Couch it as some type of tough love. And sell black women on liberation language. Really, it's being liberated from black men. That's what they're really saying. But if you sell them on any type of liberation talk, getting rid of archaic social norms, the patriarchy, European beauty standards, huh? They go for it every single time. Meanwhile, white women are saying that, and yet white women keep on putting the thinnest, longest hair, flat back ass woman, on the front of all their magazines because nobody mean any of it. People are using black women as colonizing agents in the black community, and they know what to say to black women to get black women to go along. Nina Turner said it. I want to say this again. If Nina Turner see it, that sister not old like that. If Nina Turner see it, they all see it. Condoleezza see it, right? Susan Rice see it. Condoleezza Rice see it. Kamala see it. They all see it. Oprah see it. Gayle King sees it. She participates in it. Michelle Obama sees it. They all see it. All those women see it. Shirley Chisholm saw it. They all see it. Afeni and Asada Shakur saw it. They all see it. Bell Hooks saw it. Well, she wrote about it sometime, so I gotta give her that. Wait, I gotta give her that. We got our issues with her, but yeah, I gotta give her that. They all know about the emasculation of black men, the insulting of black men, the using black women to benign neglect black men's issues, the pushing black men off to the side on purpose. But no, we're gonna talk to black women because they're the most oppressed. We're gonna diddle their egos by subtly insulting you. Trail says liberation from reality. Right? What's going on, Indigo? Huh? And once again, thank you, Buckeye fan. Thank you, Buckeye fan. And Buckeye fan also says, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Buckeye fan also says they told where you're with the other sides equals Stein. Yeah. Right. And once again, Angela Rye was attempting to mommy him, but of course. And she messed around and tried to mommy Stein and overtalk her. And where it's yeah, I saw that. Huh? Yeah, I saw that. Speaking as if their efforts are wasted. Look, the people that are not going to vote Democrat or Republican are not going to vote Democrat or Republican. They're not doing it. The people who are going to vote for Stein were going to vote for her anyway. They're not going to vote for Kamala. They're not voting for the Orange Man. They're not voting for Trump. They're not. Y'all know I worked for the Florida Democratic Party. I've said it before. I said to my mentor at the time, look, y'all think those Bernie bros are going to vote for Hillary. They're not going to vote for Hillary. They're going to vote for Trump to spite Hillary, or they're staying home. And she was like, no, they're going to vote. And when Hillary lost, yes, believe it or not, without Mr. Z initiating anything, I saw her maybe a few weeks later, and she was like, Z, you were right. And she said that in front of Z and Sister Z. You were right. You said it. You were right. And she said, I can't believe it. I was like, I told you. The Bernie bros were never going to vote for Hillary. I said, Hillary is not likable. Y'all kept on lying to yourselves about Hillary being likable. Hillary is not she's not Bill Clinton. She got the charisma of a cardboard box. Same thing with DeSantis, mind you. So I was glad to hear and I've said that before too. I was glad to hear Jason Black say it the other night. The charisma of a cardboard box. These people are not likable. And when you exit your little political bubble, it's glaring. Y'all used to that weirdo stuff in DC or around the capitals of the country. The different state capitals. Once y'all exit those state capitals, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Cold, sterile, monotone speaking ass crap. Huh? And Mr. Shook to you says, until black men start leaving in droves, black women will never change, respect, or appreciate black men. Concrete Rose. Yeah, I remember her saying that. And guess what? Your newlywed black men are marrying out at 25%. Huh? They're marrying out at 25%. Mr. Z already said, I predict within a decade or so, it's going to be a third. Black women are going to try to keep up. And they will not. Let me say this again. Dear black women, I want it on record. Mr. Z said it. There is no making up for not ending with the black men for black women. Black women writ large An individual black woman, maybe she could look up on a white dude that'll be paymaster. Maybe, maybe. But black women writ large, oh no, there's no making up for not having a black man. There's no making up for not ending up with black men, right? If you don't make it with black men, you're not making it. For black women writ large, if you don't make it with black men, you're not gonna make it. You will have locked yourself out of middle classdom. Huh? PK Angel says, a decade, LOL, I give it 4 years max. Trell says, and Cammy ain't Barry. She's not. The craziest thing in the world, though, is I think she's far more black than he is. He just studied black people more than she did. Z, that don't make no sense. It makes perfect sense. I think she's far more culturally black than he is. Whether she's actually black is a different conversation. I think she's far more culturally black than he is, but he actually studied black people. Huh? He actually studied black people. Huh? But being a light-skinned, fairly attractive woman, she never felt like she really had to, because Negroes was walking up with a peen in their hand whenever they talked to her. So she never had to study black people. She never needed to, especially after going to Howard. After attending Howard, she didn't need to know. She thought she knew everything she needed to know. Until she hit that goddamn primary last election in 2016? 2020? 2020. 2020? 2016. No, that was 2016. No, that was 2020. That was 2020. That was 2020. That was 2020. Right? Huh? So tying all of this in, and once again, thank you for the birthday super chat. A split Jim, thank you for the birthday super chat. Right, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And I want to end out with this. First off, thank you to all my subscribers. For the couple years now of Mr. Z and his antics, right? And my low ass production quality, right? And my tardiness, lateness, never on timeness. What I will say is we're actually doing something here. It's not just talk. If you see FD addressing us, saying to Themis, he's made us obsolete and he's worked around us, which we know is not true, because FD still don't understand what the mission is. The mission was not to get us to be less, quote unquote, antagonistic to the women. The mission was to make us paymasters to the women. Once again, provide, protect, and shut up. If you're not doing that, FD signifier, then your 800,000 subscribers, mainly what supposedly mainly men, mainly black men, mean nothing. It means nothing. Because if those young black men turn around and still marry a white woman or a Latina, even if they don't get married, if they have children with the white girls or the Latinas, guess what? You failed. Right? You failed. Your 800,000 subscribers, mainly men, supposedly, mainly black men, it means nothing. Because you don't appreciate what Themis told you. When Themis said, you know, we need, these boys need to be raised to protect black women, I don't think you fully appreciated what he meant when he said protect. Once again, provide, protect, and shut up. Shut up meaning don't assert any of that power, that dominance, the last word, etc., that comes with the provision, the protection.
I don't think you appreciated when he said protect, and you didn't really appreciate what he was saying there. Okay, fine. What Mr. Z is saying is that we're not just talking over here. When you notice that even Chrissy is framing her arguments in ways to address what she know Mr. Z is going to say, right? When you see people shifting, huh? It's speaking to something. We're not just talking over here. This is not just picking on swirlers and divestors. No, we use swirlers and divestors as a lightning rod to have a larger conversation about what's going on in the black community between black men and black women, and the fact that your daughters want to be politically and socially upper middle class white women at the least, and how much they're willing to destroy in attempts to get there. And that they're not letting go of their patriarchal aspirations. Oh boy, Z, you said that. There's a reason why Mr. Z says patriarchy by feminist specifications. We're not just talking. We're not just talking. And for the larger black manosphere, regardless of what these people say, once again, FD could say we don't really move the needle, we're insignificant, right? We're ineffectual. Kim Foster said we're useless, etc., etc. They could say all that they want, but if it wasn't for Kevin Samuels, they would continue to pretend like there isn't a problem here. They would watch black women struggling and point right at black men. Well, the reason you struggle is because the black men, the single mother households, and the black men don't want to study. If it wasn't for Kevin Samuels, they're still kind of still on the same thing. If it wasn't for BGS, they would be on the same thing still. If it wasn't for Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, Dr. Green Gorilla, Dr. Ron O'Neill, Dr. Thunder, etc., they would still be on the same thing. If it wasn't for Obsidian, FD Signifier pretends like he don't understand why Angry Man has how many hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Huh? Foreign man in a foreign land is calling brothers nig cells. Huh? We exist because y'all exist. Because all y'all know how to do is shame young black men writ large. All everyone knows how to do is wag their finger at black men. And what I love about young millennial and Gen Z black men is that they giving y'all the ass to kiss by simply ending up somewhere else. Mr. Z is talking. These young men are not talking. Say it again, Z. They just popping up at the family reunion, the family event, Christmas dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, holding a Latina girlfriend hand. Oops. Holding a white girlfriend hand, holding their Asian girlfriend's hand. And now what? Huh? So shout out to FD. You know what? These women, they're just comfortable. They're just not coupling. Yeah. Once again, St. Louis Federal Reserve, single black women have the least amount of wealth in America. Right? And better use is I don't think the aspiration is for white womanhood. I think it's to usurp white manhood. I think it's both. They want the power and the prestige of white men, but they want the ability to play damsel in distress and to be quote unquote saved right? And to play Wilton Violent the way white women do. Particularly, once again, a particular class of white women. So this one is maybe middle class white women and above, right? And so what you heard from Crystal and Karazin, and she was being honest, and she said it in a couple minutes. And even, the clip, the first clip is about what, 6 or so minutes long, but Crystal and Karazin got her point out in what, 2 3 minutes, and she didn't use these words. Essentially, what it boils down to, like the main woman off of Witcher, they want everything. Black women in particular want everything. Women writ large in the West, but definitely black women want everything. They want the power of white men. They want the prestige of white women. They still want to be black women and run everything in the black community. But they want the sexual attention of black men. They want everything. They don't want to be exoticized, but they also do want to be exoticized or exoticized. Excuse me. They want to be lusted after, but then they don't want to be lusted after. They want to be seen as sexual beings, but then they don't want to be seen as sexual beings. They want to be loud and brash and aggressive and mean and snarky and antagonistic and obnoxious, but they don't want to be seen as mean and brash and antagonistic and obnoxious and snarky. They want everything. And wanting everything, believe it or not, is not even the worst part of it. They want everything, and they're angry at the world for not giving it to them. Because they're not white women. Oh boy. Once again, better you. When you live in a post-structural world, a postmodern world, when in your mind that's the world you live in, it does make sense. And better use is, makes no sense. You can't be Mario and Princess Peach at the same damn time. Who said? Right? Who said? Right? You and your archaic way of thinking. Right? The patriarchy says that. Better you are 100% correct. But in these women's minds, they are Princess Peach. If you see the recent Mario movie, holding the goddamn like bazooka, right? In their mind, I want someone to see the full humanity of me, my full humanity, to experience my full humanity, all my range of emotions. Oh boy, huh? It would be one thing if more women were saying, at least in this clip, we ain't gonna act like she a saint, what Crystal and Karazin was saying here. If more black women were speaking like this, you could actually have a conversation and maybe start to get to a resolution. Oh boy, a solution. Possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of, maybe, probably not. But what we have are, as the gold digging young lady was speaking, are a bunch of women lying. Lying to themselves, lying to each other, and lying to the world. Right? It would be a different conversation if Tyler Perry didn't say black women are doing better than black men financially, because it's a lie. If he was actually honest and said, "Ooh, actually, single black women have the least amount of wealth in America." And if Rebecca Lynn Pope was honest about it, huh? And if the brother whatever talk show was that Daily Wrap Up Crew again, or was that Cruise Season? I can't remember which show that was. With the sister that had like the green lady pantsuit thing going on. Once again, as Mr. Z continues to say, these outliers are doing way too much talking. The Ebony K. Williams of the world are doing way too much talking. These black women that got a couple of dollars, a bit of status, some luxury bags, and drive a six-figure automobile are doing way too much talking. And they speak like they represent the masses of black women. No, the masses of black women are struggling, and they drive a Nissan Altima with a bumper that's barely hanging on in the back. Huh? If we had a different conversation, a more honest conversation, and maybe, possibly, maybe, kind of, sort of, probably not, we could move this a different direction, but that's not where we are. They're gonna have to do something else, Joe. That big Ultima Energy is done. Ain't no more Ultimas. Nissan doesn't sell the Ultima anymore, or the Maxima. It's a done deal. It's gonna be, I guess, big Rogue Energy soon. Kia's still selling the K5, which is just a rebranded. That's always been the name in other markets. It's just a rebranded Kia Optima. They got a couple years left of that, and the Hyundai Sonata, but yeah, those are supposed to be going out in the next couple years by 2026. So I guess it's going to be crossover SUVs. So what crossover SUV are women buying left and right? What, RAV4s and Nissan Rogues? Ford Escape? Huh? So ending out, and I see what you said up there, Indigo. Where's that comment? He said end out, right? But seriously though, ending out. We record these things and we put these things up. Shout out to Louis again. Red Pill Sleeper Cell, Louis Conyer. We put these things out to emphasize, if you hyper focus on black men and black men's shortcoming without saying anything to the women, or with barely critiquing the women, barely, just smidge, you just blinking your miss at comments about women's proclivities and the negative behavior of women. If you continue to do that, you will find yourself, well, where black women find themselves now, struggling, pretending like they're not, and living vicariously through the handful of black women that actually are doing well in life. Right? You see what I'm saying? And Cheryl said, I dated a girl who drove a Ford Escape. She lived up to that for sure. I dated a woman who drove a Kia Optima. A couple of dents, um, um, had one of those like fake ass car insurance things, and was doing well financially. She earned, at the time, she was earning more than me by almost two times. Lived on her own, afforded all her bills on her own except for the car insurance, because she had been in so many fender benders that nobody wanted to cover her. That's why she had like that play car insurance. Right? I don't want to say what she did for a living, because then I'll be too on the nose. But yeah, Kia Optima, a little beat up. Huh? Single, childless. Well, clearly single. She was dating me. Childless. Huh? Dark skin, dread, cute. Right. But once again, exactly what Trell said. Kind of lived up to some of those stereotypes when it comes to cars. No, she didn't do hair. Hysterical, tell you. Oh no, it was in criminal justice. No, Vincent was a CN. It's hysterical. So on that note, everyone, y'all check out the links in the description box, especially the first one. The first one is sum up everything. It's about 6 or so minutes long. You'll hear Crystal and Karazin come in. She'll say the obvious to us, but she'll speak on what we already know. But it's once again having women actually say it, confirm what we already know, right? Some brothers need to hear the women say it, right? It don't mean anything if the women don't say it. I don't think this is smart, but okay. Right. And yeah, so gold digging. Yeah, that's it. Um, and as Crystal and Karazin, and we'll end now with that. As Crystal and Karazin said, life is gonna have to learn them. But to Crystal and Karazin, black men are not gonna be here. Boomers were there. Older extras were there. Even some younger extras were there. But once you start getting into millennials and Gen Z, they're not gonna be there. Good luck trying to go to the white dudes with your fully black children. Good luck trying to go to the white dudes after a certain age. Huh? The men are not going to be there. If the women have resentments, you got to believe the men do too. And what the men resent are women who, I had an epiphany. I grew up. I'm mature now. After they get the thousand peen stare. Now they got the thousand peen stare. Now she want to settle down with the dude she would not have given any time of day to 10 and 15 years ago. Absolutely not. That's not an epiphany. That's opportunism. Huh? Are there women that really have an epiphany? Yes. Are there women on the other side of whatever age, some men, some brothers, scoop up and, you know what? Okay, let's have a conversation. Let's see what we could do here. Yes. Is that going to be most women? No. Most black women? No. Why? Because even at 42 and 43 and 45, 38, 35, y'all are still insufferable on the other side of your quote unquote epiphany stage. And that's not even saying whether you got a kid or two, or three, or four. So on that note, everyone, we're coming to a close. So y'all have a great rest of y'all day. We'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. I don't think Dr. Thunder is still streaming. He might be, so y'all check him out. The Raj Report should be streaming in a little bit. Shout out to the Raj Report. I want to do another car stream Shout out to Compassionate. We gotta do, and Buckeye Fan. Funny enough, Buckeye Fan, I did not forget about you. The TLC stream, Mr. Z. I'm telling, life, life, life. Um, um, I have to do the TLC stream for Buckeye Fan. I still want to do the stream about um the Paul memo with Compassionate. Shout out to Compassionate and Callus. Um, brother sent me a dope ass email about the um Paul memo, so we'll get around to that. Um, yeah, and there's different streams. I'm really, I'm really trying to get all my streams in, right? Wow, no, I did not see that. And Paspero G says, Z, you see the woman breastfeeding a 3-week old on Kendra G. Rough times ahead. Look, it's gonna be rough times. Shout out to us. Damn, Paspero G, you made me stay here for a couple more minutes. Damn it, now you making Indigo right. But no, you gotta see that. Hey man, look, y'all see the way I talk. Shout out to me. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. I walked into the Black Manosphere when I didn't come in here with none of that. Alpha males that talking. I need a woman that do this because I'm an alpha man. I didn't say none of that. Shout out to High Value, and shout out to, and rest in peace to Kevin and to all the other brothers that first started here talking that alpha man stuff. I didn't come in the door saying none of that. No, black women and women writ large are gonna have to end up with average ass dudes, and those average ass dudes are gonna save them. Oh yeah, I said it. No, it's going to be mainly average ass dudes that save women from themselves. Yeah, it's going to be hard. Yes, you're going to have women breastfeeding 3-week old still look good for a man. Where's the child's father? You better believe it. No, it's real. The struggle is real. It's not 40% anymore, I don't think. I think now it's like a third of Americans can afford like a $400 or $500 emergency. That's still a third. And when you go up to $1,000 emergency, it's still with like 60 some odd percent, 70%. Huh? Median household income is $75,000 a year in America, not just for black people. No, dear women, y'all don't earn enough. It's that simple. Your average woman just simply does not earn enough. You don't earn enough. Yes, you do need men. I don't need no man. Actually, yes, you do. Actually, you do. And you better come over here with a smile. And if you think I'm just talking to black women, you got another thing coming. Ooh, Z, I said you better come over here with a smile. If y'all really want Z to do it, I'm about to make half of my damn audience throw up. I said everyone better come over here with a smile. Shout out to all the LGBTQ brothers. I said everyone. If you want to mess with a black man, you better come over here with a smile and a sandwich. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. If you want black men's services, huh? Whether you're a white woman that I think for black men, a black woman, a Latina, a Asian, a white man, ugh, Asian man, a Latino man, you better come over here with a smile and a sandwich. Huh? Yeah, the times are hard. Yep. Yeah, times are difficult. Times are difficult, and black men could fix that with times being hard. but huh? Huh? Yeah, Mr. Z said it. You better believe it. I said what I shout out to Trell, shout out to Nene Leaks. There we go. I said what I said. It's going to be black men that drag this country kicking and screaming into what it said it is on paper. When I said it, I meant it. When I said it, I meant it. I didn't just say that out of nowhere. And shout out to Jason Black because he confirmed it when he read that damn article. And you better, but you imagine America continuously trying to shove off black men, make black men, like FD said, obsolete, work around black men, right? Make black men a non-factor, and they continuously have to they have to come hat in hand to black men. May I have some more? You imagine American history being littered with how do we work our way around these Negroes and make them obsolete? How can we make ourselves not reliant on these Negroes anymore? And every single time, from slavery to Jim Crow to modern era, every single time they got to come back to black men. Somebody going to say the Thanos line. Huh? Every single time. You couldn't escape your fate. Huh? Every single time. You better believe it, because nobody else could do this. I've said it before. It's not going to be Asian men. They don't got the numbers. And they don't have the social justice spirit. I said it. To hell who I offend. It's not going to be black women. They too busy trying to be white women. It's not going to be Latina women. They too busy trying to be white women. Huh? It's not going to be Asian women. They too busy trying to be white women. That's South and East Asian and Southeast Asian women. It's not going to be indigenous women, too small numbers. Indigenous men, too small numbers. White men, too busy trying to be Trump. I said what I said. Huh? It's not going to be white women, too busy trying to be white men. I said what I said. It's going to be black men. It was always going to be black men. So yeah, the sister gonna be on there breastfeeding, trying to get her man. What else was she supposed to do? Try to get her a LGBTQ sister? They don't earn enough. They don't earn enough. They don't earn enough. They're not strong enough. They're not big enough. They're not gonna work enough. I didn't like the way Jason Black said it, but he was right. They're not workhorses. Men are workhorses for the good and bad of it. Huh? For the good and bad of it. It was always going to be black men. So yeah, she's going to get on trying to look for a paymaster. And she might get one. If she get on his program. If the baby young enough, she breastfeeding, okay, fine. If the father out the picture and she get on a man program, yeah, maybe. If she get on a black man's program, maybe. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. Maybe. I don't know what America think. I said what I said. America will get on black men's program. Oh, this whole thing is gonna burn. Not white men. Y'all keep on y'all going down the wrong direction. It's not white men that's gonna save America. Sorry, black women. It's not black women that's gonna save America. It's gonna be black men. It was always gonna be black men. Huh? It was always going to be black men. Say it again, Z. Black women are going to get on black men's page. Non-black women are going to get on black men's page. Oh, I said that. Non-black men are going to get on black men's page. And then white men are going to get on black men's page. Everybody that think they got a choice in the matter, you'll see. It may not happen in Z's lifetime. You'll see. Ain't nobody understand America more than black men. I said nobody. Huh? No one has a better or more accurate reading than black men. No one. And no one can really fix America but black men. Y'all go ahead and waste time trying to get white men to fix it. Maybe one day America have an Asian or two president, a woman or two president. Ain't nobody gonna fix this except for black men. You heard my words. Huh? So on that note, everyone, we will pause right there. Compassionate passport G, y'all can clip that. So we'll pause right there. Right? Thank you, Vince. We made it. Who else you think finna fix it? I don't know what they think. It's not gonna be no one else. Y'all, one day y'all gonna elect some LGBTQ non-binary woman. No one's gonna fix this except for black men. No one can fix it except for black men. Vivek Ramaswamy, joke. Shout out to Andrew Yang. Nope. Nikki Haley, what? She too busy getting pogo sticked in by white men. No one else. It was always going to be black men. Thank you, Trell. No one else wants America to live up to her ideals. It was always going to be black men. Everybody else is just straight opportunists. It was always going to be black men. Huh? So on that note, everyone, we'll pause right here. Truly, love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Right? Go touch some grass. Replay Mr. Z's last like 10 minutes over and over again. All right, y'all. Right? And Trell says, and we'll end up with that. The American dream is a dream of self-interest for all others. Only one people can really fix that. So on that note, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.